here at Coaster Festival 2010, and this is a very cool moment in my career because I am hanging out with Cypress Hill. Hello.
Hello.
How are you guys?
Good, thank you.
Welcome back to Australia. Are you really excited to be playing Coaster Festival? The crowd out there are going nuts. They can't wait for you.
Definitely. You know, Australia's always been great to us, so we love coming back here. So it's great playing a festival.
Now I want to take it back. I mean, you guys have been in the business for over 20 years. So how do you keep it fresh for yourselves, but also for your audiences as well?
We try to maintain to have fun while we're doing it. I think as long as you still have a passion to do it, whether it's the writing and producing and recording to even the stage, you know, we all get along very well, still crack jokes on each other and make it light. And I think when you do that, you know, it keeps it fun enough to be able to go out there and do it. And when you're on stage having fun, I think the kids and the fans see it and they have fun right along with you.
What was it about hip-hop in the first place that attracted you to that genre and made you want to make your mark in that genre?
I think it was just, you know, the lure of it was a street art form, and us being street kids and not really thinking about playing guitars or drums or nothing. And when I first saw Run DMC as a youngster, and I knew right away that's what I wanted to do, you know what I mean? Just the whole get up, the way they dress, they talk, their swagger, everything was just so impressive that, like, if you didn't want to become a rapper at that point, you weren't paying close attention, you know what I mean?
Right.
So, just that influence of those guys and Public Enemy, and then later on the Beastie Boys, that influence that they had over me was just incredible, because here these guys were doing something and they were being real about it. There was nothing phony about it, you know what I mean? And that just made me want to, like, you know, be like them, you know what I mean? To this day, I still think I'm DMC, you know?
So what was it like? I mean, because it was, you know, sort of like the late-ish 80s that you guys formed, and that was an era that was really kind of dominated a lot, I think anyway, by like sort of glam rock and stuff.
Right.
So what was it like trying to emerge as a hip-hop act during a time where people just wanted to hear, you know, like 80s rock?
Well, during that time, there was also a really, like, a strong scene for hardcore hip hop, you know what I mean? And that's where we fit in naturally, being, you know, street kids, you know what I mean? We never anticipated our success, or that we would have the kind of music that would change styles or whatever's going on in music at that time. But coming out, it was kind of difficult because we were way different from the beginning. Our vocal approach, our beats, everything was way different. So we kind of came with something that changed the game, but until people caught up to it, you know, it was a difficult run. You know, we were on tour like a little minivan, you know, across America, you know, us three guys and, you know, my big fat ass cousin driving. And, you know, we earned our stripes, you know what I mean? Before Cypress Hill became Cypress Hill, you know, we were in the trenches, you know what I mean? So it was nothing easy. And, you know, thanks to the people in New York that, you know, got a hold of Killer Man and made it #1 out there. And then from then on, you know,
TV raps and such, you
Yeah.
know, they had a big part to do with how we broke out there. You know, once we got that and a lot of mixed show play, it enabled us to get in front of bigger audiences.
Well, that was going to be another one of my questions. I mean, you've had such an amazing and storied career. Are there any particular moments that just stick out in your head and just still to this day blow your mind?
I think, like, we could all agree there's two definitive moments, I think, for us. It was Woodstock, playing Woodstock in '93, and Saturday Night Live. You know, those two,
Yeah.
and The Simpsons. I think those three things, right?
It's like you guys are mind readers and you keep preempting what I'm going to ask you, because I was going to say, were you banned from SNL for smoking a joint?
Yeah, definitely.
That's pretty cool. Were you ever invited back?
Never, no.
Never?
They stuck by their guns. They banned us and they meant it.
Man, Ashley Simpson mimed and, like, not into the right show and she got invited back. I think you guys, I think it's time.
The funny thing is they banned us, but, like, you know, before they banned us, all the writers and comedians of the show were all smoking out with us after the show. So that was what was funny about it. You know?
That is hypocrisy, that is.
Yeah, but, you know, I wouldn't change it for the world.
And then the other thing, I mean, I'm a huge Simpsons fan, and you guys did the Homerpalooza episode with Smashing Pumpkins and
Peter Frampton.
Peter Frampton. Oh my God. What was the other band on it? Zero something. No. Oh God.
Can't remember who the
I
other
can't
guy.
remember. Anyway, but you were on it,
Yeah.
and you still beat a Frampton's orchestra. So what was that experience like getting to? I mean, because in my mind, if you're on The Simpsons, you've made it.
Yeah, it was definitely cool. I mean, we all had heard of The Simpsons. You know, some of us even watched it and stuff like that. So when the opportunity came up, yeah, we jumped at it because I mean, you know, that's basically, you know, that's forever. And they run that episode, they rerun it a lot.
Yeah, they do.
We've always heard, oh, I just saw you on The Simpsons, and
Yeah.
you know, it's cool because it'll be there. It's one of the cool things that we're able to do. You know, we're allowed to do, and they didn't ban us, which was cool.
They did not. They did not. Matt Groening immortalized you
Yeah, it was
in that
great.
episode. And I
Yeah.
was remember that part where the orchestra's trying to do Insane in the membrane.
Yeah.
Gold. Just
Yeah.
gold.
Yeah, that was cool.
What do you think about some of the up-and-coming hip-hop artists these days, like Drake and Lil Wayne and B.O.B.? You know, do you have advice for them, or you know, what are your thoughts on these artists?
Some of them are good and some of them are shit, you know,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
But that's the way it's been throughout the time of its existence, you know. And there's guys like Drake that are, you know, very gifted lyrically and very creative. And they have this new style, and there's a lot of kids that love that. So, you know, hip hop and rap music have evolved into so many different things during the course of the 30 years that it's been in existence, that you just try to embrace all of it. Even though you might not like some of it, you just try to embrace the fact that it's still constantly growing and evolving and successful, because people thought it was going to, you know, be a trend form of music which would be gone in like 5 years, and here we are 30 years later, and there's rappers still on top of the Billboard charts over
Constantly.
R&B groups, over
Yeah.
rock groups and stuff like that. So, you know, rather than hate them, we celebrate them.
Could you ever have imagined that you'd end up as being one of the biggest hip-hop acts in the world and who's influenced pretty much every other hip-hop act that's come before, like after you?
Yeah, I knew it was gonna happen all the time.
That's an honest answer, I like that.
No, never could have imagined it. You know what I mean? Still to this day, when I think about everything that we've done together as a group and as friends, it's still overwhelming. You know what I mean? When I think about the day I met him and you know how young we were and all that stuff, you know, it's still like, wow, who would have known? You know what I mean?
I was just, you know, trying to have fun with my friends and make music that we liked. Unfortunately, it was stuff that, you know, other people sort of gravitated to and found something, you know, that called to them
Yeah.
within it, you know.
And what's really cool is that you were saying before that it was, you know, people like DMC and Beastie Boys that made you want to be
Right.
a hip-hop artist, and now there are so many artists that look to you and go, Cypress Hill made me want to be a hip-hop artist. Like, how does that feel?
Pretty
That's
crazy.
the ultimate compliment right there, you know what I mean? From another artist anyways. It's, you know, like, how can I imagine, like, you know, like somebody like Eminem who has said the same thing to Be Real, you know what I mean, when I first heard you, you know what I mean? And I try to imagine, like, how would that look like, you know, a young guy, you know what I mean, and being influenced by us and whatnot. And I think it's like, you know, the most honest and most, like, straight compliment that someone could give you is like, you know, you guys, you know, turned me into a musician, and that's really cool because there's people that I look up to that did that for me,
Yeah.
and I have my chance to tell Chuck D from Public Enemy that and stuff like that. So it meant a lot to him. It's like it means a lot to me when somebody tells me that, you know.
That's so cool. God, you guys have just had the most amazing career and toured with some of the most amazing people.
It's been fun.
I'm in awe just like listening to your stories. I feel like I could just talk your ear off all night asking you questions, but I won't. I will just finish with this question. What do you think the next 6 to 12 months holds for you guys? Obviously more touring, I'm assuming.
After this, we'll probably get a break for, you know, a couple months, and then we'll start the process all over again and hit the road, and who knows what's first, you know. Usually it's going to be Europe and then back to the States and then South America. Then, God willing, we come back here, even though the flight is hellish.
It is. We were discussing this before the cameras rolled. It is a very long flight.
But we love it here. We have fun. It reminds me of California because everybody's so laid back.
We've got great beaches.
Yeah, great bit.
we got great bitches too.
I meant to say beaches.
It's okay, we've got great bitches too, trust me.
Yeah, I meant to say beaches. Sorry.
Oh boy.
No.
Okay, that was a highlight of this interview for me. That was gold. You're a legend. Well guys, let me just say, you know what, you keep touring, we'll keep coming, you keep making albums, we'll keep buying them. Thank you so much for chatting to BPM. It's honestly been such an honor. And yeah, keep those bitches real.
Cypress.